welcome to Vlogmas Day 14. I think it's the 14th. If not, I will correct that with my awesome editing technique. But today is Friday, and I didn't vlog yesterday because I didn't want to, and I was kind of in a bad mood, and I was like, I have this other video that I can upload instead that I filmed a while ago, so I uploaded that instead. But yeah, I just wanted to start this vlog off. I really wanted to have a delayed start this morning, but we didn't get as much snow as I was hoping we were going to, so we're having a full day of school, but it's still gonna be okay because I have some fun stuff going on in psych, and then, yeah, that's really it. That's all I'm looking forward to, but that's enough, so I'm gonna go so I don't miss my bus, and I will see you later. Hey guys. So, since I'm such a terrible person and I forgot to vlog in school, I decided that I would bring you a story time because this is really funny and I've been waiting to talk about this for a long time. And I just think it's such a funny story, like, that all of this happened to me. So, I'm going to tell you this story time. It's not really meant to, like, expose, like, the American Red Cross. That sounds like a really big claim. I just literally thought it was so funny, so I wanted to talk about it because I still joke about it with my friends because it's so funny. Okay, so to start this story and to like do it right, I have to go way back to like last year, the first time I ever tried to donate blood. So last year in like March or April, something like towards the end of the school year, my school held its last blood drive. So every year at my school, we have 3 blood drives at the school, and I decided that I was 16 and I was like, heck yeah, I'm gonna donate blood because it's a good thing to do. It'll make me feel good about myself and it'll go toward my red cord. So if you don't know what the red cord program is, it's basically like if you donate blood 3 times, you get a red cord and you wear it at graduation with your graduation gown and whatever. And I was like, that's so cool, and I wanted one. So I was like, I'm gonna donate blood and get my first donation out of the way sophomore year. So I signed up to donate blood. I got like the parental form that you have to get signed and everything, and I went to donate blood, and I was like nervous obviously because like needles and stuff, but I was like, it's gonna be fine, like it's gonna be worth it in the end. So I go and I like checked in and I got like all my paperwork done, and then they test you for iron, and I got that done and my iron was fine, and then they looked at my veins and they said that this is my left arm, I don't know my right from my left. They said that my left arm would be better because it's dominant, so they used my left arm, and I was like, okay, that's fine, whatever. And I go to like the table, I don't know what it's called, where you like lie down where they actually do like the actual blood taking, and I lay down and I'm like, the needle goes in and like it's fine and it starts, and then like literally 30 seconds later the lady comes over and she's like, oh, like why isn't your blood flowing, like what, like this is weird. And at this point I was like starting to freak out because I was like, oh, this is like weird, like I was like, oh, maybe this is a normal thing. So she starts digging around the needle in my arm. It was awful, it was painful, I was crying, it was horrible. And then she like looks at my bag, like where it's collecting the blood, and she's like, oh, like you clotted, like your blood clotted too fast, like you're not gonna be able to do this. So basically I only got half of a pint filled, so it didn't even, like, it wasn't even usable. Like literally I think they probably just threw it away. So that was really great. So that was my like first experience. And then literally my arm was so bruised from like here to here, and I couldn't bend my arm for 2.5 days. Like I was literally stuck like this. It was awful. Then I had to go back to class and take 2 quizzes because I had 2 periods left in the day, and both of them I had quizzes in, and the teacher had to write for me because I literally couldn't move my arm to write. So that happened. But me being me, I was like, no, I'm gonna try again this year. Like I'm gonna do it this time, it's gonna be fine. It was just a bad phlebotomist or whatever, because that's what everybody told me. So November rolls around and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do this thing. So I go and I sign up and whatever, and it's fine, and I go and I get there and my iron gets checked and it's fine, and I lay down on the table, and I had told the lady, I was like, last time I had a really bad experience, like, but I'm here again and I just wanted to go well, and she was like, don't worry girl, like, we're gonna get blood out of you today, we're gonna get this thing done. And I was like, it really reassured me, and I was like, yes, this is gonna be the time, I'm gonna do a great thing for somebody and I'm gonna save 3 lives and it's gonna be great. So I get there, the needle goes in, I'm going fine, and then the lady comes over and she's like, I just want to see the blood going a little bit faster, so I'm going to adjust the needle. And again, she's like moving the needle around my arm. This time it really didn't hurt because it was like placed right, I guess, but it just needed to like be at a different angle, so it was fine, whatever. And then another lady comes over and she's like, oh, like try to use a different vein. So she takes the needle and moves it into a different vein while it's in my arm. And that hurted. I can't believe I just said that in real life. And that really hurt. Like, but whatever, it's fine. I go through the rest of my donation, and this is where it gets ugly. I probably should have made a disclaimer at the beginning of this, like if you're squeamish, don't like watch. But this is where it starts to get ugly. So if you thought the other stuff was bad, it's not. So I'm almost done with my donation. And I'm like sitting there and I'm like starting to feel sick. And I'm like, oh, like I thought it was just like I was nervous because I thought it wasn't going to work again and I thought it was going to be for nothing again. And I was like starting to get really nervous. And like I guess like one of the ladies who was there noticed because she came up to me and she was like, hey honey, are you okay? And I was like, no, like I kind of feel sick. So she brought me some juice and I drank some juice. And then like 2 minutes later, I was like almost done and they were like coming to like get the needle out, and I was like, no, like I really don't feel good, like I seriously think that I'm gonna throw up. Sure enough, like 5 seconds later, I threw up like 6 times while I was in the middle of the table, literally with 15 other people who were like just watching me vomit. Oh my god, it was so embarrassing, it was so bad. And meanwhile, they were trying to get the needle out of my arm. So I was like lying there convulsing, like vomiting, and they were like taking the needle out of my arm. And like none of this, like I want to get this straight, like none of this is any of their fault. I'm just bad at donating, like I'm just like a bad donor, I guess. Like it's not the Red Cross's fault. It's not any of like the people, I don't know like what they're technically called, phlebotomists maybe. Like it's not their fault. It's just, it sucks that I had 2 bad experiences. But I was like, you know what, it's fine. I got out of most of my classes for the day because they wanted me to stay and observe. I like was really like white and like sickly. Like I had literally 15 people tending on me. I was constantly like laying down, and like my gym teacher, well she's not my gym teacher, but one of the gym teachers at my school like gave me her jacket because I was freezing. I basically had like the worst reaction anybody had ever seen, besides like actually passing out and having to go to the hospital, because that's happened a few times. But the lady who was like in charge of like the blood drive, like the actual Red Cross lady, was like, yeah, like this happens to redheads, like I don't know why, it's just a weird thing, like redheads are just bad donors. And I was like, great. So at least it's not me personally, it just has something to do with like my genes. Whatever, it's fine. So I end the day, I'm like telling all my friends about this because I think it's so funny that I've had 2 bad experiences. Like nobody else that I know has like gone through all of these things. I just think it was like so funny. Like I was kind of upset about it, obviously, because who wants to vomit in a room full of people? No one. But I was like, this is just a funny story. Like this is gonna be so funny. And like the next day after I donated was a Saturday, and I went to New York City and I was living my best life, and I had another bruise that was like from here to here, but I was like, you know what, it's fine, like life is good. Like I officially saved 3 lives because this time I got a whole donation done. I was like, this is great. I talked a little bit about it in my New York vlog, but not really a lot. But yeah, I was like, fine, like it was worth it. And I still considered donating again because my friend Kayleigh, who you guys know, she's always in my videos, is hosting a blood drive because she is like ineligible to donate. I don't know why. I don't know if she's ineligible or if she just like can't or like she doesn't want to. I don't know, but she's hosting a blood drive so she can get a red cord. And I was gonna donate on her blood drive, which is coming up in a few days. which is what prompted me to make this story time. But back to the point, I still considered donating again. I was like, whatever, it's fine. Like, I'm going to do it again because third time's a charm. And then a few weeks go by, and suddenly I noticed that, like, my, like, site where my needle went in was, like, super red and, like, swollen and itchy. And I was like, that's not normal. So I let it go for a few days, and it was just getting worse. So I went to the nurse at my school, and I talked to my mom, and I ended up going to the doctor's office, and the doctor was like, yeah, like, it's either a delayed allergic reaction or it's an infection. And I was like, cool, great, because what else do I need from this thing that I was just trying to do to be a nice person? So she pressed on it and it stung, and she was like, yeah, it's definitely an infection. So I went on, like, the highest dose of antibiotics that I've ever been on in my life. These, like, giant blue pills, for 10 days. This was over, like, Thanksgiving. So I had to, like, take these things, and they made me feel sick because antibiotics, like, kill all the bacteria in your system, but they also kill the good bacteria that's, like, in your digestion tract and everything. So I, like, constantly felt sick and, like, gross. So, yeah, that happened. But, it's fine now. Like, my arm is fine. If you're looking at this bruise and wondering what this is from, this is completely unrelated. This is just me being an idiot and falling out of a chair. But, like, obviously I'm healed now. The antibiotics worked. I had a really nice phone call with the American Red Cross where they, like, apologized for it happening, even though it's not their fault. And they were, like, kept calling me ma'am and Mrs. Pugh. And I was like, don't call me that. I'm literally, at the time I was 16, now I'm 17 as of a couple of days ago. So that's fun. But I was like, why are you calling me ma'am? Like, I know you're older than I am. That was kind of weird, but it's just their job, so. But I had a really nice conversation with the lady from the American Red Cross, and she's like, oh, I'm sorry this happened. Like, I'm glad that you, like, went to the doctor and got it taken care of, because the doctor told me that if I didn't go and see the doctor, it would have spread into my blood, into the muscle, and I could have, like, lost my arm. Okay, she didn't say that I would have lost my arm, but, like, think about it. If you have an infection in your blood and in your muscle, you're probably going to lose your arm. So, imagine that. That would have been a good story time. My arm got amputated from the American Red Cross. But, that would be funny. Just kidding. That would be terrible. Oh my god, I don't know why I said that would be funny. That would be literally the worst thing ever. But, yeah. The point of this video is not, like I said before, like, I'm not trying to, like, expose the Red Cross, because that's just stupid, and, like, nothing that happened was their fault directly. It was just, I'm a bad donor, and then I guess have a weak immune system that made me have an infection. I don't know. We still don't know if it was caused, like, actually from something the Red Cross did, which I doubt it, because then there would, like, be a lawsuit, and then I would say that they're liable, or if it's just, like, from it being exposed, which is more likely what it is. So we don't really know what caused the infection other than it happened. I'm going to probably have a scar there for my whole life because I was, like, itching it. But yeah, I just wanted to tell you guys this story because I thought it was really funny, and, like, obviously, of course, all of these things would happen to me because who else would they happen to? It's still so funny to me that this, like, unfortunate series of events all happened to one person, and, like, everybody knows about it, like, all of my friends, because I constantly joke about it. So yeah, moral of the story is that I probably will not be trying to donate blood, at least for a while, but you, if you're watching this and you're not a redhead, should seriously consider donating blood, because just because I had bad experiences doesn't mean you're gonna have bad experiences, and it honestly is such a good thing to do, and if I would do it again in a heartbeat if I didn't have the infection, which, like, compromised it, and I don't honestly know if I'll be allowed to donate again because of it. But, like, if you're healthy and you aren't a redhead, because the lady did tell me that, like, redheads typically have bad reactions, but you should seriously consider it. Like, I'm sure the American Red Cross has a website. Lots and lots of high schools are involved in, like, blood drives, so check it out. See if it's something that you're interested in, because honestly, it's a great thing to do if you're healthy and you don't really mind needles. Yeah, I think that's it. I'm going to end this video here with this story time because I'm looking at the time and this is 14 minutes and 30 seconds. So I don't know if anybody's going to watch this far, but if you do get this far, thank you so much for watching, and sorry that this probably wasn't as like dramatic as you were expecting it to be, but it is my first story time and I've never really like had any like, I don't know, story time worthy things. So thanks for watching this, and I hope you liked Vlogmas Day. Well, I think it's 13 or 14, I don't really know at this point. All of the days are kind of blending into each other, but thanks for watching if you got this far, and I will see you guys tomorrow for Vlogmas Day 15, I think. Bye guys. Mwah.